Number 92. Two balls are thrown vertically, both at an initial speed of 10 meters per second from the height of 60 meters above the ground. So we'll do like this. Here's 60 meters. I have one ball thrown upwards at 10 meters per second. I have the other ball thrown downwards at 10 meters per second. And it wants to know what is the time lapse between the balls and does the mass of the ball affect the result. So if I want to know the time lapse, which is basically the difference in time, the first thing I need to know is how long each one takes. So we'll do the red one first. I know that its initial velocity is positive 10 meters per second. A is always negative 9.8 meters per second squared. D, it falls a distance of negative 60 meters. And I'm concerned about the time it's in the air for. So this is where you are probably going to have to use the quadratic equation. So we're going to go with that. I'm going to set up my equation, and I know that, oh, don't do that. Here we go. That D equals V naught T plus 1/2 AT squared. So I have negative 60 equals 10T plus 1/2 negative 9.8 T squared. Again, I want to solve this for 0, so I'm going to add the 60 to the other side. So I have 0 equals negative 4.9 T squared. I got that from here. Plus 10T plus 60, because I added the 60 to the other side. I set up my quadratic equation. I have negative B, so negative 10 plus or minus the square root of 10 squared minus 4 times A, which is this, times C, which is this, all over 2A. Now all I got to do is do the math. So I have negative 10 plus or minus the square root of 100 plus 4 times 4.9 times 60 is 1,176, all over 2A, which is negative 9.8. Add 100 to the inside, take the square root of it, and I get 35.7. So I have negative 10 plus or minus 35.7 all over negative 9.8. Again, I'm solving for a time, so I need a positive number, and the only way to get a positive time is to take the top to be negative. So I'm going to negative 10 minus 35 is negative 45.7. So I have negative 45.7 over 9.8, negative sign. And I get the time to be 4.7 seconds. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. So let's see if I can smush that in here. Let's go back up there. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. I have V naught is going to be a negative 10. I'm looking for V. I know A is negative 9.8, and I know that D is negative 60. So, same equation that I started with before. The only difference, instead of having a positive 10, I'm going to have a negative 10. So I'm going to skip right to here and make a negative 10 instead of a positive 10. So I have negative 4.9 T squared minus 10T plus 60. This thing is going to end up being the same thing. I have negative B. So in this case, I have positive 10. 10 plus or minus the square of, if I square this, it's still the same thing, whether it's positive or negative. This whole thing is going to be the same thing. This is going to be the same thing. So the only thing that changes is I'm going to have a positive 10 plus or minus 35.7 all over, oh, I have two pluses or minus, sorry guys, all over negative 9.8. I still need a negative number on top. So if I add 10 and 35, I get positive divided by negative is negative time. Doesn't make sense. I'm going to do 10 minus 35.7, which is negative 25.7, all over negative 9.8. And 25.7 divided by 9.8, I get 2.6 seconds. So the time lapse is going to be the difference between those two numbers. And I get the time lapse is 2.1 seconds. There's my time lapse. And does the masses matter? There is no mass in this equation whatsoever, so no, the masses do not matter.